Well, welcome back. Felicia Tappan with Slow Foods Kitchen. You know what to do with that little button down there. You know, it helps us with our ratings and things that we do. But we're really here because we like sharing what we've spent the last, 30 years learning on eating vegan, healthy, organic, wonderful foods. So, today we're going to make a gravy that you can put on the mushroom loaf, which is in another video, and it's awesome. I highly recommend it. You don't taste the mushrooms. They're chopped up real fine. Kids will never know it's in there. It's one of those hide the good stuff the kids won't know. Great stuff. We've even fed it to carnivores, and they're like, this is really good. Give me the recipe. And that's what it's all about. Share the good food with your friends so that they'll eat more healthy foods. You don't have to have meat every meal, right? So we started with 2 cups of vegetable broth, homemade by Amanda right here in the kitchen. So we're letting that heat up. So what we're going to do, what first we're going to do is turn to the correct recipe. So what the heck we're doing. So I warmed up the frozen vegetable broth because I didn't want to mix in the spices on a cold broth and they get lumpy. I wanted to start with a warm. So I warmed it up, turned it off because I don't need it boiling. I just needed it warm. So we're just going to take all of the seasonings, put them in, whisk it up and make a smooth sauce. And you're ready to go with brown gravy. So we got the vegetable broth. I went in the house and I grabbed some onion powder because we don't use onion powder here in the kitchen. We always use fresh in the Slow Foods Kitchen. Most everything is fresh. So I found, look at this, it's like rocks in there. So I brought my mortar and my pesto. I believe this is a mortar, and I believe this is the pestle or something like that. Crusher. Let's just say what we know. Here's a bowl and here's a crusher. We're going to take this onion chunks in here. We need 3/4 of a teaspoon, which isn't much. Because if I didn't do this and I put it in the sauce, it'd be lumpy and I'd be going, get the blender out. If you haven't already ruined it with greens, it said 1/2 teaspoon, didn't it? 3/4 of a teaspoon. You know what? This is 1/2 teaspoon. I like lots of spices. It says 3/4. I'm going to estimate it, but I'm going to put a little more because that's just how we roll around here. Put the rest back in the jar. We'll shake it out later when we need a little bit. Leave those other chunks in. So that's how you use a mortar and pestle. That's what it comes in handy. One of these comes handy for. We need some Bragg's aminos, and it's going to magically appear right there. Wow, good. Glad that had a good tight lid on it. So, Bragg's liquid aminos. Tastes like soy sauce, acts like soy sauce. It's not fermented, it's gluten-free. What the heck is in here anyways? Vegetable protein from soybeans. Now we generally would be buying, always use the organic one because when it comes to soybeans, we always prefer organic. So this calls for 1 tablespoon. You can use any kind of Tamari. If you don't have Bragg's, use Tamari. Use coconut aminos. Use anything in that line of seasoning is going to work. 1 tablespoon. 1/2 teaspoon of mustard. We're using Dijon Mustard today. You could use yellow mustard. You could use dry mustard. You could use whatever your favorite mustard is. 1/2 teaspoon. Which would be this one. Look at that. Shake it down. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your mustard. Shake your mustard. Okay, what's next? 1/4 cup of gluten-free flour. I brought a buckwheat flour because that's all I had on the shelf today. So what I didn't go buy it. I just took some buckwheat. We had soaked it and we dried it. Because when you soak it, you're kind of like activating the wheat, the germ in there to sprout. It's a lot more healthier. You don't have to do that. But we did. And then we dried it and we put it in the blender and we just blended it until it looked like flour. Call it flour. Do the same thing with rice. One day I was at Publix and I couldn't find brown rice. I searched rice flour. I searched the whole store and then I said, you know what, I'm done. I went and picked up a bag of brown rice, brought it home, threw it in the high-powered blender, and voila, I have brown rice flour. And didn't pay a fortune for it because it was, marked as being special. quarter of a cup. Quarter of a cup. Well, a quarter of a cup would be 16 tablespoons to a cup, 8 tablespoons to a half a cup, 4 tablespoons. Since I don't have a quarter of a cup, I'm going to put 4 tablespoons. Just make sure it's level. 2, 3, 4. 4 tablespoons of a gluten-free flour. We're using buckwheat flour, but you use whatever's in your pantry or whatever you like. You know, and if you're not if you're not intolerant to gluten, use white flour, use whole wheat flour, use whatever you darn well like, okay? That's what it's all about. I wanted to put a quick whisk in there so it wouldn't have any chance of being lumpy. So we got the flour, the mustard, the Bragg's nutritional yeast. Oh man, this nutritional yeast comes from Germany. It's grown on rice. That makes it gluten-free. And it is the bestest, cheesiest tasting, high quality yeast we could find to make our savory kale chips. So if you want to use that kind of yeast in your foods, check out our website because we actually sell it by the bag. Even though sometimes it's really hard to get. With COVID, we couldn't get this yeast for a year and we shut our business down, but we're back up and stock is here. So help yourself, order some. 3 tablespoons nutritional yeast, which is a good, great source of B vitamins. Yep, that's what it is. Yummy. It's good on popcorn. Now we're just going to stir this up. Now, I am going to turn the heat on. And I'm going to put it on stir fry. There we go. And I'm just going to cook it until it thickens a little bit. That's all there is to it. We probably have more fun just talking and yakking about it than it would take you to actually make it at home. So tune back in on that mushroom loaf recipe and look at how good it's going to taste. I know you can't taste it, but you can tell the look on our face is going to be good. Oh, it's nice and thick now, baby. Get me a spoon. We're going to do a taste test. I'm going to turn that baby off. Where's my spoon?
Wait. Smile.
Oh, man. Give me some mashed potatoes and some mushroom loaf. You know what? That buckwheat flour worked really, really good. I'm impressed. That's how we learn things. We just see if it works. You know, go for it. You think an idea, think something might work in your kitchen as a replacement, just try it out. It's awesome. Especially when it works. I haven't thrown too much food away in the last 5 years, so we're doing good. Yummy, yummy in the tummy. Y'all come back now. Dear. I just want to ride my motorcycle. There's too much raining lately. No Harley time. Not enough Harley time. All right, next.
All right, this is the picture we're going to use. Come on. Give me a good taste or something. And look up and don't look like a crazy lady.
I'm not going to do that.
Wow. You look like a witch.
I want where I want.